Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's all. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Alright, cool. Thank you. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God, that never gets old. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday. It's the Korner Booth pregame. And guys, good news. I got the tweet out before the intro finished. New record.
Bravo.
You did good today.
Speech.
Yeah. It's almost like I've been struggling and treading water because I have no fucking intern. I no co-host. And I also am a leadership here at Belly Up somehow. I haven't gotten fired. Well, what? Who said that? Yeah, I mean, listen. This should tell you how my standing. I texted Mike last night. I'm like, hey, come on the show, man. You've always wanted to come on the show. We have a spot. Come on. Ignores me. Then still post something in the leadership chat next day. I'm like, okay, I see how I am. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great Thursday. We got a ton of NBA playoffs. We've got more Kyler Murray bullshit somehow broken the last day. We've got Deebo Samuel stuff. We've got a couple of topics. We got to talk about the match because we talked about for all of 35 seconds on the show last week because it was basically Savannah groveling over how much she loves Aaron Rodgers. And we've got the Korner Booth dartboard and so much more. Also, we have a new sponsor that will be sponsoring the Korner Booth dartboard this week. They're not our sponsor. They're more Belly Up sponsor because I'm not big enough to have them as my own sponsor yet. Or I'm not big enough yet. I'm getting there.
Couple more weeks of drinking out of a Philadelphia Eagles cup. Maybe they'll
you know what? I'm drinking my alkaline water before I start hitting the beer. Okay. I'm catching up behind. I was out late. Watching up in Boston, concert and everything else. So I'm definitely playing catch up today. But big show today. Introductions are due, of course, from the Davidson Pivots podcast. This dude's quickly becoming like a regular on this show. I also think he brings more anarchy than I do sometimes.
And you finally said the show name right, so I appreciate it.
Oh, shut up. That's Andrew Leduc. And then these two handsome gents below me making his return to the Korner Booth pregame, that handsome devil in the bottom right corner, even though he's a fucking Cowboys fan. God damn it. Kelcey Coyle. And joining us for the first time ever in the Korner Booth pregame, this man has smoked me in whatever the hell we played on TSS Fantasy, one of those wild games in that 3-ring circus that Jason calls a show. DJ Stewart. I one time described this man as a funnier C-3PO meets a human encyclopedia, and somebody was like, that sounds terrifying to play a trivia game against. I'm like, yeah, he kicked my ass.
That's accurate. I mean, if it's sports encyclopedia, I feel like that's pretty accurate assessment.
No, yeah, so I described him as to my former intern and possibly returning co-host Samir Singh. I had a couple beers with him last night in Boston, and basically I hung out with him in Boston because he's underage. He actually didn't drink anything. He basically we were hanging out, and he goes, "Yeah, man, I'm thinking about coming back once the semester's over." I'm like, it's almost like I could have used you the last 3 months. It's all good. It's all love. Yeah, I described DJ as that to him, and he goes, "That sounds terrifying to lose to." And DJ, what did I play you against? Was that a fantasy Family Feud or what?
Some weird TSS total shit show, something like that. It was something about like next year they're gonna not be good at.
I finally figured out what TSS stands for. Total shit show.
Yeah, exactly. I found that out too, and I was like, "This doesn't make sense." It came together like when a perfect Lego set is finished. It was perfect when I heard him say that. It was a perfect analogy.
It's literally a 3-ring circus, and I don't think anybody's more of a court jester yet 3-ring master better than Jason. Oh my
There's a
god!
reason he
he's
gets
the
the
perfect.
sponsorships.
He's the
Oh my god! Yeah, it's just it's such a shit show, but yet it's like watching the Titanic sink. You can't look away. You gotta keep watching.
And the longer you look, the more it sucks you down.
Yeah, exactly. You know what the worst part is? Like our show, it's always like, why don't you have more transitions, more video content? It's like, but people don't come to see that shit. They come to hear us idiots yell at each other and talk about stuff. Like me and Andrew last week actually brought up a graphics. We were describing the USFL mascots, and except for the fact that the Houston Gamblers mascot is literally Mookie from Craft Brew Sports, there's nothing else entertaining. Or the Michigan Panthers. The Michigan Panthers ripped off Penn State's real mascot. The Panther is way too happy to hug your kids.
Yeah, it's super creepy. By the way, also I also want to say the Breakers, Tampa Bay, or New Orleans Breakers, whatever they are.
Yeah.
There's also ripped off some kind of like broken Nickelodeon cartoon. Like it is literally a Nickelodeon cartoon character.
Is it?
I mean,
he got recolored. He got recolored white, blue, and blue.
I also think it looks like somebody just like took a frat boy from like 2000s college and slapped together a tube of toothpaste and called him a mascot.
But yeah, hey, Crest has a sponsorship for him.
Yeah, right. Crest or Colgate, rock and rolling. Or no, what was that? What's that one with the 3 little lines? That Aquafresh. That's the one.
Oh yeah.
Add a little red stripe to that motherfucker. Aquafresh got a permanent sponsor. Oh my god! All right, well, folks, I'm cracking a beer. It's done. I had enough alkaline water.
That alkaline water lasted all of 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I have like 1 slug left.
Like I said,
2 seconds. It's gone.
Yeah, well, listen, alkaline water, I will fully endorse that shit. It's like I feel so much better every day with that stuff, I swear. Anyway, speaking of feeling better,
hold on. This is a perfect opportunity. We got to know the brand. You got to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
That way we can discuss.
I'm gonna pack one right
that
now.
possible
Thanks,
sponsorship.
all right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what we're talking about, newest sponsor, Belly Sports, Canadip CBD.
Oh, he was talking about the whatever.
I'm talking about whatever brand he wants to talk
Yeah,
about.
he was talking about the water, but go ahead, plug it, my man.
Sponsored by a water company?
I didn't know what he was doing. I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
He's like digging in his butt, like he's trying to find something. Like
I thought you hit on like a sore subject for him or something. He was trying to avoid.
I haven't said LeBron yet.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
But anyways, give us your review. How was the Canada?
Maui pack is fucking gas. It is actually very nice. I enjoy it a lot. As somebody who actually has like my brain moves 1,000 miles an hour with my ADHD and everything else, and sometimes it can be a little bit too much. This is perfect. It's like just tapping the brakes. It's not too overpowering. I packed one of these before I got into the concert because sometimes like all those people get a little spacious. I'm always kind of like twitchy about it. It was great. Goes great with beer, by the way. But yeah, the Maui pack tastes amazing. I haven't tried the American Spice yet. By the way, I think they comped my pack that I ordered. I think because I ordered it in the middle of that meeting that Jason. By the way, Jason calls a meeting, is in his fucking car running the meeting. That is the most Jason Cooper thing I've ever seen in my life. Shout out to Jason for being one of one. Hey,
there's a reason
Jason's been the number one subject of the show so far tonight.
He's my boy. And you know what? He gets mad at me because I don't do my show later. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm locked into a show slot. I can't listen. You're the one who had kids. Not my fault. Andrew's here every Thursday and he has kids.
To be fair, I'm getting divorced and they don't live with me right at the moment. So
Touche. I mean, mate on that one, I guess. Touche.
Yeah, I think you need to take a drink after that one, Jared.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, but
I like making people feel awkward.
Yeah, I know. Listen, it's almost as bad as Kevin with his mom jokes. Yeah. All right. So by the way, new promo code Belly for 20% off at candidips.com. Love this stuff. Check them all out. They have hundreds of flavors. If you're in California, you can get THC ones, which kind of jealous.
By the way, if you don't know, Ricky Williams, Dallas Braden, and a couple other
Mark McGuire
superstars are a part of it. So like it is related to sports. We're not just like all of a sudden just talking about CBD and THC. Not that we wouldn't talk about that anyways on this, but like,
I'm not going to act like I may or may not have gone on some shows of other people like under the influence of the green stuff.
You have a green screen behind you, so it's like.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't use it anymore. Because I realize I wear too much green, so it's kind of like useless. Honestly, because I'm moving out of this space soon, I might just build like a shelf behind me because I have like so many cool little knickknacks and footballs and everything else I can put behind me. And I feel like that looks
eventually.
I feel like that looks more. Yes, exactly. Kelcey with the action figures. Kelcey, I have like freaking.
Oh, that's
15 like Funko Pops that are all sick looking. I have a life-size Stormbreaker that can hang on the wall behind me. Yeah.
All those are Funko Pops as well.
I have a Mandalorian.
I'm just too big to not get there to get on the screen.
As a card-carrying member of the Mandalorian party in real life, I have literally a giant 3x5 black Mandalorian flag in my room.
Well then.
Okay, that needs to be like wrapped around your shoulders during the show.
Yeah, I mean that needs
we need something with this now. Like you buried the lead there a little bit. We're 11 minutes in, and I'm just learning about this now. Like this could have been. Yeah. I'm offended.
Literally, 3 out of my 4 favorite Star Wars characters are Mandalorians. So,
all right.
So we got Mando, obviously.
So literally, just all 3 Mandalorians that you've ever met.
Yeah, Mando, Boba are 1 and 2. Obi-Wan's 3, and then I'd say Django's top 5. I think Django's so bad. Also, because bear in mind, I played the Star Wars Bounty Hunter video game, which made me love his character even more.
Understood. Like
I still have a copy of it upstairs on my PS2 from like my childhood. By the way, I have a PS2 from 2001. It's still kicking.
Nice.
That thing runs like a top.
There's some Twisted Metal on there. You gotta get yourself a day.
Yo, Twisted Metal was the shit back in the day.
Yes, it was.
I found a copy of it outside of I think a Blockbuster. Somebody had dropped and I played it for like an hour. I'm like, this is sick. And then I ended up selling it back to Blockbuster for money.
Blockbuster, you just dated the heck out. Holy cow. When was this? Like 1997? Holy geez.
Like 2004.
I used to walk down to Blockbuster to just get out of my house and go get video games and movies.
Bro, this is how old I am. I bought the original Lego Star Wars game as a 10-year-old at a Blockbuster for my OG Xbox.
Right, I'm gonna probably date myself here. Do you guys remember the predecessor or the competitor that got bought out by Blockbuster, Hollywood Video?
Yeah. Yep. There was one in Martha's Vineyard. There was one in Martha's Vineyard
with all their wire shelves and it was like red and white in there or something like that. Yeah, I remember Hollywood Video.
That was the first one I went to. Then they got bought out by Blockbuster, and then I went to the Blockbuster.
Yep.
And then, well, we all know what happened to Blockbuster.
We had one up. We had one up here. I don't know how big they were around, but it was Video Thunder was another one.
Video Thunder.
Yeah, they were like the cheaper, sleazier one that was a bit dirtier. If you went down there,
sounds electric.
It was.
Sounds like it had. I'm
gonna date myself.
Yeah, it only had a curtain and everything else behind it. It's like
I used to go down there and rent Super Nintendo games.
Hey, there you go. That's the point in time where they didn't put them behind the curtain. They just put them at the top shelf.
Yeah,
reach them.
That's
where they hit.
Exactly true.
They just put like a little piece of paper in front of them, like just don't look here.
Oh, sold out. Sorry, but if you're an adult, you can look.
Yeah, just push it back.
If you can reach it, you can have it.
Oh my god. My favorite thing was in Blockbuster when you'd walk in there and they'd have all the games and you just have to pray the one you got wasn't scratched to shit.
Yep.
And like, it's not our problem. We checked. It's like, no, you didn't. Clearly, you scratched it. No, I didn't. I actually take care of my shit.
Yep.
Or if you were a hooligan and you had a game that was your own that got scratched, you go to Blockbuster, rent one, and then swap the disc so you didn't have the scratched one because they don't check them anyway. Clearly.
Why?
That's right. That I had a buddy who did that with NBA Live 05, the one with Carmelo on the cover, and like it worked. Nobody said shit to him. I was like,
why didn't I ever do that?
And you could do that. You could do that with Netflix when Netflix was still melon. And then you could do it with Redbox before they stuck that stupid ring over the dead center plastic piece.
That's right. They did that.
Break it.
Yo, I miss Redbox. Okay, remember Redbox tried to do like video games for a while too.
Yeah, I got a few video games. They still do. Yeah, they just don't have any good ones in there.
There's a Redbox still.
Yeah, Redbox is still a thing.
What's the last time you went to a gas station?
Yeah, they're everywhere still.
Oh, there's a Redbox in the Stop and Shop I go to. I just never been that side. I haven't been on that side of the supermarket. Like
I've taken them out of a lot of Stop and Shops, but
the Southbury one where I live,
Yeah.
I go there almost every other day, but it's next to my gym. And I'm like, I'll walk in there, but I only go in the right side of the entrance because that's the one I go in every day. That's where my car's parked, everything else. I never go in the left entrance. The left entrance to where the red box is. Okay, now I feel
a thing. Still
yeah,
a
right.
thing.
So speaking of crazy, ridiculous things, one thing also,
How do I
guys remember
transition
memory
from
cards?
Hollywood video?
Guys remember memory cards? Guys remember memory cards?
Yes.
Yes.
I remember going
Do you
to
remember Mad
Sam's.
Cats?
I remember going to Sam's Club to get like the pack of 4 memory cards because
Yo.
you wanted to play with your buddies, but you didn't want to lose your saved progress on a game.
Dude, there's still one game I have for my my PS2 that I will never beat, and it's Medal of Honor, the finest hour.
Yes, that was the very
The
first
last
one.
mission with the machine gun at the top of the Battle of the Bulge, I cannot beat that level.
Oh no, come on.
Dude, I literally
used
walked
to-
in there with a trench gun and a BAR and still got smoked.
I used
Like
to, I
the most
used to
broken
watch
guns in
that
the game. Got whooped.
This is the scene. Give me the gif of the scene from Game of Thrones with the lady in the bell. Just shame. Shame.
You know,
How
one
do
of
you
these
not beat
days,
that level, man?
I don't know, man. I also then
You
again
just
I
like
started.
cover one eye and like, all right, I'm gonna do this, guys.
You know what the worst part is? I'm actually like, I love that game, but it's so funny. Like I re-beat it because I lost my progress like a couple of years. I think it was during COVID. I got to that level again, and I got to the last part, and I just ran out of health. I kept running out of health every time. It was killing me.
We found his kryptonite.
Hell,
There it is. That and actually finishing The Witcher 3 because that game is so expensive. I love that game. I just can never finish it just because it's like I've also then again I bought Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga because I am a child on the inside and I literally I paid $70 for the deluxe edition. No regrets. It's so much fun, especially after a few of these and one of these. Oh my god, it's the shit.
Now, first of all, I don't blame you for The Witcher 3. I got lost in Act 1 and just never got back to the main missions. I literally am like, I think I'm just like literally digging around in a trash can is where my save file is. Like, I'm just looking for stuff all over the place. Like, I get distracted on those games.
The problem is I watched the show first. I bought the game because it was like $6 it was like a 5-hour sale on Xbox. And then I downloaded it, never played it, and then I watched the series. And I was like, okay, I'm fucking hooked. So I started playing the game, and I was like, oh my god, this is so much fun. And I started looking up the lore from the first 2 games or whatever, like look up the story summarized. I'm like, this is so much fun. I love this. And the problem is, I get too hooked on it, so I have to pace myself with it. Because I think one time, I had like an 8-hour period between when I got out of work and when I had to go out and meet my friends, and I was hurt, so I couldn't work out. So I played from like 11 a.m. till about, I would say about 8:30. Didn't leave my room except for grabbing food and taking a shit. And I was like, this isn't good. Like I'm not a gamer like that. I need to get up like every 2 hours and like do something because my ADHD goes freaking batshit.
See, I'm like that with like movies and Netflix and stuff like series. Yeah. I'm not like that with the video game anymore. I used to be. I could sit down with the original Call of Duty, like Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare when it came out, like. Well, you name it, I would sit down there and I'd be like 14 hours later, it's 3 a.m. and like there's a bird chirping outside. My parents are getting home from work and I'm like, oh shit, I should be asleep.
My favorite was the last. I mean, if I like had if I'm upstairs playing Xbox with my friends, like like Kevin and the boys, I can literally be having a few beers, and if we're playing like anything from like Among Us, which is just hysterical when you're drunk, by the way, to like. Or if we're playing like Gang Beasts, which is just the funniest. It's literally if Super Smash Bros. Had a drunk cousin. I've
seen videos of Gang Beasts. It looks ridiculously.
The worst is playing
fun.
The worst is playing in your Madden league that you've gone for 27 seasons when you're wasted because you're trying so hard to get all your legacy stats. All right. Oh my god, we got to talk something sports. I want to. So I'm in the gym, right? I'm gonna paint you guys a picture here because I'm such a good storyteller. Okay. I'm about to leave. I just did all my cardio. I'm walking out, and I look up at the screen. I see the schmucks over at First Take. I see Kendrick Perkins' fugly ass talking about a topic, and I am literally going to read you the screenshot from my phone. And it says NBA Today. Actually, that was the show. Sorry, not First Take. Still, schmucks. What is the bigger impact? Chris of an injury? Chris Middleton or Devin Booker? I dropped my phone. I was so in shock that was a fucking topic. I'm like, what do you think's the bigger fucking issue? The guy who's been compared to Kobe with his scoring ability, or a guy who was even supposed to be a glorified number 3 at one point before the Bucks won a title? I give up. ESPN's NBA coverage is the worst.
Hold on. No, actually, we need to discuss this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do the Bucks win the NBA Finals last year without Chris Middleton?
No.
Do they even make it to the finals without Chris Middleton?
Yes.
No. They don't even make it out of their first round matchup without Chris Middleton.
Middleton was fire.
They get out of the first round. They wouldn't get out of the Eastern Conference.
That's right. Yeah.
They would have
just
lost.
because Giannis got
Yeah.
They don't beat the Nets, that's for sure.
Okay, but
Katie's
that's also,
toes don't even matter.
I'm talking this season.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Okay, take out Chris Middleton's success so far. You're not even a number 5 seed in the East without Chris Middleton.
Well, I'm saying Devin Booker is the Phoenix Suns.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he? Because there's a guy by the nickname of Point Guard.
Yeah, but also
have something to say about that.
Scott Foster's ref in that series. Hey, it's all bets are off, boys.
I say 14-0 against point guard. Scott Foster might be the greatest point guard defendant of all time at this point. Like he's locking him down like Scottie.
Gary Payton of referees. He's locking Chris Paul down.
How amazing is that? The only person that has a winning record against Chris Paul is a ref.
And an undefeated one at that too.
Yeah, completely undefeated. This man cannot beat him in the playoffs.
The worst part about this is that the NBA has no fucks given. It's like, yeah, there's a referee that literally has a reputation for hating one of our star players.
Yeah,
but yeah, fuck it. We're just gonna keep putting him in games where he's fucking playing, right?
And on top of that, we're gonna keep progressing him. Like we're gonna progress him to the conference finals. We're gonna progress him to the NBA finals where Chris Paul is still playing. Like that's what we're gonna keep doing.
And then as soon as Chris Paul and the Suns get bounced out of the playoffs, Scott Foster is suddenly not seen anymore. He is done reffing for the season to be seen next year as well. So that is his only job. He has one assignment and it is there.
They're gonna buy him a house in Phoenix.
Yeah, right.
I don't know about buying him a house, but they might put up a shack at least and then lock the door when he goes in.
They're literally gonna like put him up right down the road from Chris Paul.
He is literally the Cliff Paul that the commercials talk about too. He is the real life Cliff Paul for Chris. He's barreling through his damn window and start destroying things and then run away, bouncing off.
I forgot about that, Cliff Paul.
I love those fucking old shows, those old commercials. Oh my god. Yeah. So I will say it's okay. So maybe it's not as crazy as I thought it was, but I still think Devin Booker, with the Suns without Devin Booker, are an 8th seed at best, whereas the Bucks are still a 5 seed, 6 seed, and they'll probably win a series. The Suns with just Ayton and fucking Paul are screwed. I'm sorry, they are. Especially how
in the game Devin Booker went out, they were already losing.
Well, that should tell you everything you need to know. Who had a bigger collapse? The Bulls at least have a loaded starting lineup, and DeRozan went fucking ape shit. But the Suns like looked like against the Pelicans, and oh god, it was bad. I don't know. Well, then again, I was
CJ McCollum. I mean, I love CJ McCollum. Brandon Ingram is still a stud. He is continuing to prove the Lakers that they should have never traded him to begin with, day in and day out. Like that was the worst move they've ever made. Honestly, next to trading Lonzo as well. But I digress. So
well, I mean, listen, the NBA I also just have established the NBA is literally like TSS fantasy, where it just like it's a 3-ring circus. I'm just assuming something crazy is gonna happen. All right, next up, NBA. Well, Kelcey actually texted me this great topic, so I want to talk about this a little bit because I was going to bring this up on Tuesday, but we never actually covered it. It was the NBA and fans. So the NBA is a unique thing where the fans are on top of players. In hockey, you have the glass barrier. In the NFL, you have about 6 feet of sideline. In the MLB, you have the fear of getting whacked by a bat or a foul ball.
And a net now.
Yeah.
Nets just take away the fun. If a fucking Gen Z wants to be like this on their phone, like let them get clocked with the ball, okay? Like that's on you.
Yeah, I'll risk the hematoma and death for a chance to catch that foul ball. Like take that win.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I'm laying out across seats for that motherfucker.
Yes,
dude. The glory of catching a foul ball that's hit hard too, just barehanded. The glory of that outweighs the possibility of me getting smashed in the face.
What you guys don't understand is
it'll only make me prettier.
Well, if you're an ex-baseball player like I was, literally the barehanding balls was literally the one thing you were told not to do. Like, just use your glove. It's me.
And don't use your hand.
I one time barehanded a one-hopper off of third base and actually caught it, but was so in shock that I caught it, I almost sailed the throw.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a couple comebackers I caught with my bare hand that you're just like, ow, wait, I caught it. Oh crap! Now I got to make a 15-foot throw to first. Oh, this is the worst throw ever.
The worst one is like I barehanded the ball down the left field line once. I was playing left field, and I came up gunning. I threw the dude out at second base, but I think everyone was so in shock that I barehanded it just before it went foul, and the guy slowed up because he thought it went foul, and I just absolutely whipped it at second base off of 1 foot, and the guy was out by a mile, and everyone's looking at me like, dude, this is a fucking rec softball game. What the shit?
The drunk try hard at that.
Well, the thing was, it was college rec softball, so like you had still the try hard. You still had the ex baseball players who would play on their off night.
Yeah.
Like, it was fun.
I don't know anything about those guys. Never used to do that myself.
Oh my god! All right, so Kelcey brought back to the fans, right? So, Sham Saranya was on McAfee, and they were talking about the whole Kyrie Irving thing. I was in Boston last night, and the hatred of Kyrie in Boston is hysterical. It's like they probably hate him more than they hate A-Rod, which is insane.
100%. And I'm not even a basketball fan, and I still hate him.
Yeah.
So I see both sides of the issue here because Boston fans are fucking ruthless. Okay,
Yes.
Boston. So ask Torrey Hunter how he feels about Boston fans.
We know.
I don't want him to ask Torrey Hunter what he feels about Boston fans. I don't want to hear that language.
I don't want to get those
my beautiful ears don't need to hear that viscosity. Viscosity? Yeah, we'll go. Vitriol is what I was going to
I only make one joke today about Alabama. You're down in Bama, Kelcey. You're going to hear that word at least once or twice.
I'm not in Bama anymore. I left that place.
I know. Well, you were down in Bama. You probably heard it once or twice.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am ignorant.
There's a giant gap in my memory, and it's right about the time I was living there.
It was right about that entire time that I just don't talk about.
Fair enough. So the biggest thing is with the Boston fans, I see why Kyrie, Kyrie and the Celtics was an ugly divorce, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to re-sign the dips," right? And
what athlete has ever done that before?
Right? Let's
how dare you? How dare you make a better living for yourself, making more money?
Okay, as much as I don't appreciate, it's but also I take Kyrie's side in the fact if fans are giving you shit, if you want to, give them shit back.
Mm-hmm.
It's so what? Your kids are in the stands. The guy next to you is fucking calling him everything in the book, okay? Except for maybe, hopefully, not dropping the N-bomb because it is Boston. Hopefully, Boston's a classy enough city.
I'm sorry. What? Did we just not talk about Boston a second ago? Hold on.
Yeah, right.
Has nobody watched Winning Time?
Kind of from here, and I am classy.
So apparently, no, there were no racial slurs dropped, but there were racially motivated insults. That was the word I heard. I don't get how that's a thing. I don't know how that.
I mean, look, that's not needed. But if the fans are gonna give crap, they can't complain when they get it back from the player.
So my biggest thing,
I'm all wrong on our test about it, and to be completely honest,
so that's what they're trying to avoid. Obviously, the NBA is trying to avoid this. But I'm on Kyrie flicking off the fans, telling him to suck his dick and do whatever.
I thought that was funny when he put the fingers behind the head.
Yeah, I thought
that was funny.
I've done that before.
And as a fan, I wouldn't have got all offended and mad. I would have just juiced me. Okay, let's get the back and forth going now.
As somebody who may or may not have flicked off the opposing team's fan section in my high school games, I appreciate it. Okay, yeah. Do whatever. Okay, if they're gonna rib you, give you shit, do it. Talk shit back. That's what makes sports amazing. It's because you have so much testosterone and competitiveness. It makes sports fun. The biggest shit that drives me nuts, and this is what even McAfee was going around about this, is the bullshit LeBron pulls. Getting a fan fucking thrown out. And there's the slam dunk. I've been waiting for that one all week.
You knew it was coming eventually.
Yeah, like I mentioned LeBron earlier, knowing full well this was a topic that I had texted him about. So I prepped him early. No, this is to your point. No, I think you're exactly right. Like LeBron takes it too far, but I will also say there are some fans that take it too far too.
Yeah,
Like there is a level. Like you don't throw things at people.
Yes.
1, 2, you do not racially motivated or racial slurs in general. Too much. Like I think we all forgot what happened in Malice at the Palace. If you forgot, then look it up on YouTube. Trust me.
Or Netflix. They got a nice documentary on that too.
Yes, they do.
Like you'll learn, but like honestly, I'm cool with like just random joke. You mentioned like if you're a fan and you see somebody flip you off, like be like the dude in the background when Kyrie does it, who literally looks, points, laughs, and starts clapping like yes, let's go. Like he gets pumped up about it.
They should just be happy that he acknowledged them.
It's
Like
a
that should have been
competitive back
exciting
and
enough.
forth. It's a competitive back and forth. That's what I love about it. Like I don't know if you guys remember Milton Bradley, hot-headed center fielder for the Mariners.
Of course, yeah.
Dude, that guy had issues with fans.
Yeah.
And like that shit, like when I was a kid, would be like, that was one of the first time I think I was introduced to like some fans saying some rotten shit to players. Yeah. So I understand. Like, so my biggest thing is with this, as long as there's no like horrible, if they're just calling him some shit like question his manhood or doing whatever, that's fine. Go with that. Just don't drop the racism shit into it. Once that's that, now security should get involved. Don't throw shit. And don't be a pussy like LeBron and get a fan thrown out because he called him a loser or whatever.
Yeah, God, that was like honestly, I feel like LeBron did, and then the worst part about that was like 2 women and a man, like, and know that dude's just trying. He's saying stuff because he's probably drunk. 1, super nervous because he's with 2 women. 3, and 3.
Are you kidding me? If I'm courtside, I'm running my mouth at LeBron. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, I mean, but that's us though. That's not this guy. This guy it was with 2 women. Well, none of us are about to walk courtside with 2 women. First of all, I don't think any of us can afford those tickets with 2 other people. Secondly, I don't think any of us are doing that. Third, I think we're at least intelligent enough to not call LeBron and some of the things he said. But I also think like what an ultimate power move like from a person like, hey, yeah, you may be with 2 women sitting courtside, but you're watching me, and I get to kick you.
Oh no!
Out of this stadium.
I'm watching the team that's kicking your ass because your Lakers fucking suck.
Yeah, like, but that's just it. Like, I mean, at the same time, I say don't be like LeBron, but at the same time, can you have an ultimate power move like what LeBron does?
Don't stroke his ego, man. Like, there's like LeBron is like the Karen of basketball at this point.
Well, I mean, that doesn't take much. LeBron's
been here's the thing about it. It's like, so like, my biggest thing was like LeBron's been like live tweeting the playoffs, and it's like, congratulations, pal. Like your team sucks, and your LA experiment, except for your Mickey Mouse title, has failed. So I don't consider that a real title. I consider like a half a title. Like I don't consider the Dodgers. 2020 does not exist as a sports year to me. It would
fair.
Yeah, the Buccaneers Super Bowl that counts. Alabama's title that counts.
Does it?
Because it happened in 2021.
Okay, but how many people looked at the stands of the Super Bowl and they're like, "Oh man, that is a full stadium," and then you come to find out that literally half of those people were cardboard cutouts.
NFL can't be perfect, man. It's still better than the NBA.
Wait a minute, though, the Chiefs and the 49ers Super Bowl took place in 2020, though. So does that one not count as well, too? Because that was before everything.
Anything to ruin the Mahomes name.
Okay, fair enough. As long as we're on the same page, I had to make sure we're clarifying.
Does that mean Jimmy G is not hated by the world?
What?
Does that mean Jimmy G is no longer hated by the world?
No. That still happens. He's too handsome to not get hated. Like you can't look like that.
I mean, but you can't blame him for overthrowing Emmanuel Sanders, who's stopping his route.
Okay, I one time was watching the NFC title game with my whole extended family and a couple friends, and my mother looks at me, and I'm over visiting, whatever, and she goes, "I'm rooting for Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners because he's so handsome." I'm like, "The fuck is wrong with you? You've been watching football for 30 fucking years, and that's your answer?"
Hey man,
he does have that effect. You just can't. If you
look at the same lady who literally wore an Eagles jersey to an Eagles Patriots Super Bowl party, and she was the only Eagles fan there.
That means nothing. I've worn a Cowboys t-shirt as the only Cowboys fan.
She didn't become an Eagles fan until I became an Eagles fan when I was like 3. So
she's just supporting you in your endeavors.
Well, no, now she roots for them herself, and so is like my family. Like everyone in my family, except my dad, is now an Eagles fan. So I am like Kelcey as a Cowboys fan would know. Eagles fans like a virus. You can't get rid of us.
It's called the Eagles. They just supplant themselves in their brains and they grow. It's like a fungus.
Yeah, well,
It's like a Bulbasaur.
at least a
People
fungus.
love
that,
them
like,
for some reason, but it's just a
I love
giant
that you're
living
talking
fungus.
about a fungus when Cowboys fans have one that grows over their eyeballs in their lives.
Oh no! I didn't. No. Cowboys fans are toxic. Cowboys fans are idiots and toxic. Like let's not get it twisted. They are idiots and they are toxic. But Eagles fans are literally walking funguses. They eat literal shit off the ground to celebrate.
No, I have to hear about that. It was one.
Not just to celebrate, but you also do it when you lose. You can't do it for both. You have to do it for one.
Because at that point, you're just
Are
doing.
you really
it all the time.
mitigating when people can eat shit? Like, are you the police of when you're allowed to eat shit? Did I understand this?
Like, okay, if you're a fan, come on. If somebody did it on a bet because they lost, like that's funny. But at the same time, like if you do it because you win, then at what point do you actually celebrate anything or lose a bet? Like you can no longer use the bet if you actually have to eat shit.
So it didn't become viral until the Eagles won Super Bowl. So the thing is,
well, the Eagles that's how they have to bet is because they can't do anything with alcohol. They're all alcoholics anyways.
Hey, listen,
Dare them to drink water and see if they bust in the flames.
No,
I don't want to kill somebody, man. There's a limit to how far I'm willing to go.
Listen, DJ, you guys made fun of him for so long, and then we gave you the walking plague of turnovers that is Carson Wentz.
And now he's gone. Now he's going back to the NFC so he can continue.
Thank you for the first round pick. We appreciate it.
Don't blow it.
By the way, didn't have a drastic amount of turnovers, but he just got more creative in the way he turned the ball over.
So
there's a 2-minute compilation of him throwing it left-handed. That's all. That's all you need to know.
We talked about this on Tuesday when me and Savannah and Kevin, because the three of us used to host the Corner booth like back in 2019 when I used to be an avid Carson Wentz defender, and then it all changed after I watched him basically give up in the Packers game. I lost all respect for him in about 5 minutes. So I've gotten pretty good because I worked in sales, I've worked in manual, I've worked in customer service. I know how to read body language. Carson Wentz gave up in Philadelphia. He did. And so basically at that point he was dead to me. I tried to make it like rational because I bought a Carson Wentz jersey, and me being a cheap motherfucker that I am on myself, because it was my second one. My first one was too small for my shoulders. Not even kidding.
I have multiple comments, but I'm gonna just leave them alone.
Don't go there, Kelcey. Don't you fucking go there.
I mean, it's what happens when
your quarterback got called the Black Kirk Cousins. You have no idea.
He is though. That's not a lie, and it's the funniest line you've ever heard of in your life.
I know.
From a receiver to tell somebody.
And it wasn't just a receiver; it was Amari Cooper who talks less than Kawhi who calls him.
Yeah, this man says 5 words in his entire career, and then he says 5 words more, and it's "You're the Black Kirk Cousins." Like
that is
he has said 10 total words in his career before entering Cleveland.
My biggest thing is that so my barber, she's a diehard Cowboys fan. She's cut my hair since I was like 17. She's like, I think she was like 2 years ahead of me in high school, and so I've known her forever, right? She's been cutting my hair for so long, so she never heard that. And it's like Amari had just gotten traded, and she goes, "I don't understand why the hell they cut Amari." She's like, she's like, give me a fan in the backside of my head. And I'm like, Casey, you didn't hear what he fucking said? She goes, no. I'm like, she called Dak Prescott the Black Kirk Cousins. She drops the trimmers and she goes, what the fuck? She was mad and she was laughing. It was the funniest reaction ever seen to something like that. So what cracks me up about that whole situation is that we're still all better than the Giants are right now.
Well, yeah.
That's the best part about this thing, because the Giants still think they're fucking contenders.
I mean, we can honestly say we're better than the Commanders now because honestly, we're not commies.
We are Commanders. Bump, 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 bump. Had to do it once a show. Also, my other favorite. Here we go, commies. Here we go.
Oh boy,
dude! The amount of ribbing I can give Commanders fans this year, or their quarterback, Kamikaze Commander Carson Wentz. Like, come on! Like, there's a mountain of shit talking I have for Washington fans. Oh, and the fact that their owner may be the worst human being in sports. This dude was dumb enough.
We'll see for how much longer.
This dude, okay. Roger's gonna just sweep this under the rug like he did with every other fucking scandal for Dan Snyder.
I
Because
just don't see how he can anymore. Like,
wait, are you sure? Are you sure? Why are you complaining so much about all of our editors here? Like, we all write sports stories. We have to send our articles in for his approval. Like, isn't this how this works? Isn't that how we get paid? Right? Did I just miss that memo? Did we change it finally?
I mean, like the theater. I'm not gonna call that.
That was close.
Whoa. There's the break line.
Yeah. Wait, I hit it just in time.
Didn't you do this to me last week? Anyways, we're taking over here.
Yeah, there you go. Bye, Jared.
Don't you ever take control of my thing ever again.
This is our show now. We are the captains now.
Get the fuck out of here, Leduc.
Look at me. I am commander now.
We are going to be led by a man who is going to have a duck emoji.
Carson Wentz is going to look like Ronald Weasley playing Quidditch. Just wait till you see him in that unit. It's going to be absolutely fucking ridiculous. That is going to be the most dysfunctional looking team I've ever seen.
Can we get the leather throwback helmets too?
I also love how Terry McLaurin has been oddly quiet about this. He's probably sitting in his house like, I got this dumb motherfucker about to throw. He's going to preach to me about Jesus during the pregame, and then even Jesus ain't going to help hit me in a freaking slant route. God damn, I'm screwed.
No, you notice it's funny.
He's going to get force-fed the ball whether he's open or not because Carson's a single target. He's going to be like, all right, I'm throwing 17 every single play. Terry's going to get paid. He might get killed, but he's going to get paid.
I don't even think Terry's going to make it to the – I think he's going to be traded before – I think he'd be traded draft time.
You notice they report to camp, what was it, like last Friday?
Yeah.
Not even 4 days of times has been spent, and he's already like, yeah, I got to get paid more. Like, if you're going to tell me I'm going to have to deal with this philanthropist, like, I need to get paid more.
My favorite thing is when Andrew's about to run down to freaking Connecticut to smack me in the face for the joke I almost made. And then two, my biggest things with this is the AJ Brown situation cracks me up even more because I think this dude's just sick of Tannehill. And I was joking the other day.
Sick at Chipotle every weekend.
Yeah, that you can't trust that Nashville Chipotle. Like that'll do a number on you as well too. That's costing him money at this point.
Like, okay, so
he's really Ryan Tannehill, the Chipotle of the NFL. Like it's gonna make you sick.
AJ Brown's the Chipotle of the NFL right now. Like the man can't stay out of that place.
So here's my thing: is right. So
Tannehill's like the church's chicken. Goes there, but they talk about it.
Church's chicken's so weird.
Who goes to Church's Chicken to know? I don't. I've been there like 4 times, and I still don't know what the chicken tastes like.
So my favorite Southern chicken place is still Bojangles, but that's just because
only good at breakfast time.
It's a safe place to go.
I was supposed to go to I never had Raising Cane's, but the only Raising Cane's up by me is on freaking is next to freaking
it's
Paradise
chicken. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know it is, but that sauce. Somebody who used to work at Cane's actually leaked the recipe for the sauce. I have it. I found it on TikTok, and I have it.
Ketchup and mayo with a little bit of mustard?
No, there's also
Worcestershire. I've been doing that since I was a kid.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, a little bit of extra salt in there.
Worcestershire and essence of smoke.
Sauce.
Worcestershire and essence of
smoke.
Wait,
you say essence of smoke?
Yes, sir.
Are you brewing a potion?
No, that's literally
just little
sauce. Is that what
that is literally a thing you can buy.
Is it really?
Yes.
Never seen it.
I cook all the time, bro.
I stand corrected. Making fun.
Essence of smoke is really good when you don't have access to a smoker.
Well, I got a better idea. Why don't you go get some wood off of a tree and just light it on fire, and then you got your own smoke right there.
Because sometimes you're about to get in a fight and you need to be ready to go, so you just open up.
Look, man, I'm broke. Like, I don't need to go buy a $6 thing of essence of smoke that's probably like this fucking big. When I could just go grab a piece of pine and just like light it on fire or stick it over my gas oven, like I'll be good, dude.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually did open air smoke a steak when I was in the mountains over in Virginia for vacation
so
once.
You burned it?
No, actually came out amazing.
Okay.
I let it literally open air smoke for 2 hours. Came out incredible. Except I oversalted the fuck out of it, but it's okay.
I think it's
oversalted.
I think.
But here's the thing is, it only sucked once you got to the tips where all the fat was.
Yeah.
The marbling didn't absorb all the salt, but the edges where all the big thick layers of fat was. I bit into one. I was like, oh my god! I was like, I bit into a chunk of salt. I was like, this is.
Is that where all the fat is?
All right.
Anyways, all I'm saying is, if someone asked me to go to the spice cabinet to get them an essence of smoke, I tell them to fuck off because I would think they would tell me to go get a bucket of steam or something.
I presume those were fighting words and immediately drop whatever I'm doing. Like, you
Well,
don't just say
exactly. I'd assume they're trying to fuck with me. I'd say I'm too smart for you.
Forget
square
the
up.
essence. I'm giving you the full one too. Here you go.
catching a 3-piece and a soda.
Boys, the apocalypse is happening. My Diamondbacks have won 2 straight.
No, the Pirates have a winning record. Let's say you
Love it.
missed
Let's go Pirates.
You buried the lead. The Pirates have a winning record right
The
now.
Mets
go
are the
Pirates.
best team in baseball right now. What is happening? And they don't even have DeGrom or Scherzer.
So what you're saying is baseball's broken this year, doesn't count. Baseball's still in 2020 mode.
No, baseball isn't
Yes.
broken because the Dodgers aren't World Series champions.
Thank God. Just the freaking Braves are like
I-
okay.
I-
The two teams that the Giants, as a Giants fan, I cannot root
you're
for
a
in the
Giants
eternity
fan?
of my
Oh, God.
life.
Kelsey, do you just root for every team as a rival of one of my teams?
Well, you got a Guardians hat on, so you can play that too.
No, this is the Giants hat on.
Is it? Okay, it looked like a C from
yeah.
here.
It's a G.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see it now.
Kelsey, who's your basketball team then?
Sacramento
League.
Kings. It's a whole lot of losing.
I'm so sorry.
I've never been a Kings fan.
All of my victories that have come from Auburn and have come from the San Francisco Giants, and I can't claim any from the Cowboys because I wasn't a fan back then, so I don't. All of my victories from them have made up for all of my years of misery as a Sacramento Kings fan.
This
Especially
back
Game
and forth
6.
started
Well,
as an essence
listen,
of smoke.
Listen,
but
I've been suffering since I've been suffering since 04, okay?
That's great. I've been suffering since my entire life.
Kelsey,
I mean,
the
listen,
only
you had the-
Kings
you-
fan I've ever seen has been an NPC in Grand Theft Auto, going all the way back to all of them.
You're welcome. I am that NPC. That NPC was based off of my life. And I bet you slapped it around a little bit, too, because that's what it's like being a Kings fan. You slap around a little bit, and you get told to suck it up. And hopefully you find one of those edges that has all the fat that Jared was talking about.
Oh, that's salty fat.
Yeah. Like this is what being a Kings fan is like. It is just absolute misery every single game. 82 games. You're like, oh man, we started off with a walk-off win in Denver. That's the only win we got.
We drafted Tyrese Halliburton, Rookie of the Year, and he's gone.
Oh yeah, trade Tyrese
Hell
Halliburton
yeah.
for nothing. For a tall European dude. Like, okay, great. That doesn't help you when you need 6 other players on the court. Fucking in a rotation. Sorry, as a Kings fan, I could go off on this all day.
Listen, I will
That's
say
my dartboard. Just being a Kings fan is my dartboard.
There we go.
Save it for the end.
Save
We
it.
got an hour and no, we got
I was
less. We got 45 minutes. Yeah, we got 45
welcome.
minutes before the dartboard comes out. But
And we still haven't talked a single bit of sport.
we talked about NBA for
I
around
mean, we
5
just
minutes.
talked to the Kings.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Listen,
Like I said, we haven't talked about any sport.
My
for
life as
45
a
minutes.
Timberwolves fan was, holy fuck, we're actually going to make the playoffs? What? Why didn't I bet on this? I bet on all my teams to make the playoffs every year because generally, like, I make
Well,
some
that's why they
money
made the
off of it.
playoffs.
No, I made money
You
off the
didn't do it.
Eagles. I made money off the North Carolina, make it to the Final Four. I made money on
Okay.
my team.
Let's be fair and say that you could honestly put money on the Eagles every 4 years and you're going to be right. That's just the way the NFC least works. It's literally a rotating bag of poop,
Just
and you
snuck it
just
in there.
one of
Okay.
them. One
Well,
of them ends up on
okay,
top.
let's be honest. Kels, let's be honest. We can X one team out.
No, it still happens.
the
Somehow
Giants
every
are-
4
the
years,
Giants
they
are
still
gonna
end up on top.
Yeah.
I will bet you $20
Okay,
right
sorry,
now.
my bad. Unless your quarterback is supposed to be
Daniel
Carson or Jalen Hurts, and then your coach decides, you know what? No. I don't want to win this game. I'm gonna give it to the Washington football team and just on Monday night and not.
You know,
not
I told
Coach
the
Elliott.
Giants. You know, I told all the Giants fans the next day at work. I said, "Hey, dickheads, you should have won more than 6 games." What do you want me to tell
Yeah,
you?
so should anybody else have. Like
Exactly.
should have won more than
I don't
6.
care. It's
Yeah.
like, listen, like Doug got a better draft pick, and Howie fucked over the Giants again when your Cowboys gave us a pick to get Devontae Smith. So you know what? A double dunk on the Giants. I love that.
I hate
There's
everything
only-
about the NFC.
There's only one of me here. What do you mean double duck?
It's a brand new show segment.
Let's talk about. All right, I want to move on. Debo
We start
Samuel.
throwing things and see if you can double dutch.
Jesus.
Double dunk.
Speaking of ducking out, Debo Samuel is literally saying, "I want out of San Francisco."
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I'm sitting here. I sat at the bar yesterday talking to my former intern, now former co-host Samir. I said, "The fuck is Debo thinking?" My
Does he get
opinion
paid?
simply is this: yeah, I get paid, but the problem is Kyle Shanahan made this.
I don't want to pay my entire life's history to live in San Francisco.
I know the answer.
Also true.
He had to spend 3 days of work catching passes from Trey Lance. Like, oh hell no, this ain't gonna work. I'm not chasing these things 65 yards out. Absolutely not. I'm
Trey
not
Lance-
letting this running back throw me into a crowd. No sir.
Oh my god.
Lamar Jackson's picked up the phone.
Yeah, right. DJ, I heard apparently McAfee is trying to get your Colts to get in on Debo.
They
Second most
actually had the
likely spot.
highest rated odds to trade for him too yesterday. I don't understand. Like, how in the world are you? What do you have to give up at this point?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't see that either.
I don't know either. I mean, but
They
then,
would've not
then
have
again,
jumped in
$1
my
million
head.
in cap space. That's
Is this
what
like
they
an
have
Ed
to do.
Monix trade, and we're just going to give up a washing machine or something
No.
like that and rob them?
We'll
Because
do
if
that.
that's the
I want-
case, I'm down for it. But I think San Francisco has good washing machines.
I
The
wanna
best
listen
part I
exactly
love
what
is
they
that
got.
Yeah,
Bob
they do. It's called the
Sala-
Pacific Ocean.
the best one I love is Bob Sala and the Jets are like one of the other favorites. I'm like, the fuck is happening right now?
Oh, let's not forget the third favorite, the Patriots.
Fourth favorite is the Detroit Lions.
We'll love
Yeah,
that.
well, that's not. We all know that's not.
Bring
happening,
'em.
But like,
Bring
here's
me
the thing, like,
Debo.
Yo, listen, I want to see Debo playing for Mr. Douche biting kneecaps. Okay, I am all for it. I am a Dan Campbell stan. If you guys haven't figured that out by now, that is my dog. Okay, like I have Hard Knocks Detroit Lions DVR'd, and we're 5 months out. Okay, I am hyped.
HCDC is worth something.
MCDC is the boy.
It's HCDC. Get it right.
MCDC, Motor City Dan
No.
Campbell.
Head coach Dan Campbell.
No,
HCDC.
No, it's Motor City.
Because it sounds
Dan
closer
Campbell.
to ACDC. So you HCDC.
I'm a McAfee follower, so it's MCDC.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares what McAfee has to say about Detroit.
I mean,
McAfee only has bad things to say about Detroit.
yeah, because
Most people
he
have to say
said one of his closest friends and producers is a Detroit fan. Watching them shit on the Red Wings every night's hysterical, actually.
Exactly. See, like I said, he has nothing good to say about DC.
Well, actually, the
About
Lions.
Detroit.
I said this on my draft preview when I had UConn. By the way, if you guys haven't had UConn on your show talking football yet,
We had
That
him on
mother-
those BUFL.
that motherfucker is the smartest human being when it comes to draft shit I've ever
Yep.
seen.
We just let him
That's all
go.
he
We
does.
just let him go. We didn't interrupt him on Sunday morning. A couple
He's
weeks
put, out,
ago.
he's put out what, like 65, 70
Oh,
different
it's
scouting
closer to
profiles?
90. It's close-
91.
Yeah, I was saying
91
it's
now?
around 90 now. Yeah.
This
I've
kid,
read
this
half of
guy's
them,
a
and I'm
dad.
like, I
He
still
just had a
keep catching
fucking.
up.
He just had a fucking kid, and he's still pumping out articles like it's nobody's business.
Yeah,
I'm like-
he's employee of the year so far
He's
for
unreal.
Belly Up.
And so me and him, so he's on my show twice now. We did a draft rankings. We did a draft. Did our mock draft, and me and him were joking. He had my Eagles taking Jordan Davis. I almost threw something all the way to Israel to hit him in the head. I'm like, you motherfucker,
Why are you hating on that? I think that was
because
really
we don't. There's a lot of other needs. We listen.
like your
address the
16 linebackers that you're gonna take again and go into the season.
Address the needs we need. Go either get a corner like Booth out of Clemson, or go get a receiver to offset Devontae Smith and Quez Watkins. Because clearly Howie's done trying to trade for receivers. So
I mean, you could do that. That's a possibility.
I mean, listen.
Or
apparently
you just
we're
waste another
trading.
pick.
Apparently Jalen Rager is getting traded draft day, which makes me very excited.
For what? That a
A
shitty
seventh
washing
round-
machine that doesn't
A,
work?
a shoebox and a 6th-round pick.
I feel like you have to give
yeah.
Jalen Rager and a first to get somebody to give you a 6 for him at this point as well, too. Like,
Well, here's the thing about Rager is like everyone. The thing. So the weird thing about Rager is everything I've heard is like other teams just think Philadelphia's fucked him up, and I'm like, that might be true at this point because like
It's what it looks like to this point.
Okay, so
well,
when I
they
was
said the
in-
same thing
I
about
was-
Carson though.
Well, yeah, well that's different. But I mean, look at Nelson. It's for his year in Oakland, his
And
year
Vince
in
Young.
New England.
and Sam
He's
Bradford.
played very well.
Not so much in New England. Let's be real.
Yeah, but
Well, except for Mac Jones is like one of the
Jalen
kids
Rager
there.
has this issue where he has stumps for hands and no fingers, so he has no bring the ball in unless it just gets stuck to his chest.
Let's be honest,
be fair to
Shaquille
people who
Griffin
actually
has
have stumps.
better hands than him.
No, listen, yeah, I was about to say, like, there's people with actual stumps that catch the ball better than him. He
Yeah, I
just
was
might
gonna
as
say,
well.
it's like-
He might as well just have.
Jalen
Like the
Rager's
the
biggest issue-
situation where it's just there's no circulation. up there.
Jalen Rager's biggest issue is
And
that
T.O. caught a touchdown recently, by the way.
yeah, Jalen Rager's
More
biggest
recently than
issue-
Jalen Rager has.
Okay, so here's my thing about Jalen Rager, and I noticed this on film. So I watched a shit ton of tape this year on Eagles. I do a lot of tape studies. So I enjoy watching film, honestly. One thing I noticed about Rager,
Jalen Rager.
unfortunately, yes, I had to watch about an hour. of
He
Jalen
jumps
Rager.
off the tape, but not in a good way.
Yeah, because
No,
he
he's fast.
dogged his routes.
Yes.
It's ugly. It's like he looks like. So I watched that dude run full speed, right? It's actually pretty impressive. He's fast. I watched him against, I think it was the Devontae Smith screen pass against Tampa. This dude didn't even sell the screen. He literally took a step and then started walking. And I just sat there and I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? If I was a coach and I saw that, this dude would have been cut the next day.
Yes.
You know what's amazing?
And the worst part is I kept going back after this. Me and my buddy were literally Jeffrey, who does the intro to the show. He's who raps the intro. He comes on the show occasionally as well. He literally sat there with me. We watched 25 minutes of Rager routes. Every route he wasn't getting the ball, it's like 3/4 speed. What the fuck happened? He had the best training camp of any receiver of Philly. He was
go back to his college film, and you see the exact same thing. The only difference is he was literally getting the ball 50% of his routes because they had no choice.
Yeah,
that is the only difference. But the other 50% of his routes, he did not. It was like half speed, if that.
That's why the one thing I ignored, and Kelcey, you're totally right, because when I evaluated a lot of receivers in 2020 because I said Chase Claypool's going to be a freak if he just gets the right system. I was half right because
as
then
long as he doesn't celebrate on 4th and 1.
Oh my god!
With 17
because Chase Claypool makes me sad because that man, if he goes to any other, if he doesn't get drafted by a team that has Juju on it, that motherfucker is going to be one of the best receivers in the NFL. But unfortunately, he's a dumb shit.
What's he gonna do now? Like he's the number 1 there. I feel like
no. Deontay Johnson is.
Is he though? Okay,
let's
he's
a good number.
Well, he's the number one.
DJ, do you see what Deontay Johnson wants for his contract? By the way, it's like $21 million or whatever. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Maybe flip the 2 and the 1, and we can talk. Maybe.
That's what I said. I'm like, listen, I will pay Deontay Johnson $12 million tomorrow. It's like he's a great route runner. He gets open. He's great in the slot. It's like there's no issue, but
he drops the ball a ton.
That's the issue.
For someone who has as many receptions and targets
like
as he does, he drops them a ton.
No. Nelson at least catches the easy ones. Like this man just drops a
wide
open
open
10-yard drag.
Nelson
catches a 10-yard drag, and he's like, "Oh no, I dropped it."
It's like once a game. I swear to God, once a game.
Be honest.
Nelson will catch it with 2 fingers, but drop it with his entire body like he's catching a punt.
Yeah. Like Nelson's problem is he starts running and then drops the ball. Deontay Johnson just straight slaps it down into the ground.
If Ben Roethlisberger's throwing me the ball, I'd slap it down too. I don't want to catch it.
That is very fair. That is a very valid point.
Y'all remember when everyone thought DK Metcalf was gonna be a bust, and now this dude's like just sitting here like, can somebody get me out of Seattle? Please.
Now he's gonna be a bust.
Can I go to Denver so Russell can throw it to me 60 times again?
I mean,
listen, somewhere where somebody will throw it 60 yards straight up in the air, so I go run under it like.
Well, I mean, Drew Lock can do that.
I know.
If they give him a chance,
they will. They're gonna try to get Baker. I guarantee it. They're gonna go after.
And with the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks will be selecting.
Oh God, what is it? It'll be the kid out of
the
Alabama.
9th pick. I saw. Was like they had the 9th. I haven't taken Charles Cross right now.
If he's there, that's a good pick. I mean, they have what he needs.
I'll let you know next week.
I think there's a way the Giants fuck up their pick somehow. They take an Andrew Thomas or something like that, where they just screw it up.
You think there's a way? I mean, it's literally written into their name, the New York Giants.
Yeah, right.
I think somehow they'll hit on one of them, but the other one they're going to fail so badly that no one cares that they hit on one of them.
Oh my God,
one of them will be great, then the other one they'll take like some 50.
So apparently, according to Peter Schrager, by the way, Trayvon Walker is going to be drafted first overall.
And the Jaguars will continue Jaguars, and will continue their streak of picking first overall.
So here's the thing about Walker, right? Walker, if he's coached correctly, is gonna be like Myles Garrett, but if he's not, it's Jadeveon Clowney. So, which honestly isn't a bad range.
Oh no! Don't hate Jadeveon Clowney like that.
Yes.
No, if this man doesn't get coached, he's gonna be Gennard Avery.
There's a name I remember.
Let's be completely honest. This man is
That's
a
my dude.
Talent.
Cost us a win over the Buccaneers.
No, this man's a first-round talent, and everybody has him as a top 10 talent. This man's sneaking into the first-round talent, not a top 10 pick. He's been playing next to Jordan Davis and Devontae Wyatt, who are easily
but Jordan Davis
a top
doesn't play.
talent.
Jordan Davis isn't playing third down.
Doesn't matter. You still have Devontae Wyatt, and then they have their backup Carter, who's a freaking 360-pound monster himself.
He's projected.
These guys all test out at 100.
He's projected the number 2 overall pick next year already, which is insane.
Yeah, and it's just it. Like this dude was backing up Jordan Davis, and then Walker's been playing off these guys along with Nolan Smith, along with Quay Walker, who's been blitzing. Like this Travon Walker has done nothing except for.
The problem
is last season he
Kirby
didn't do good
Smart,
in the Pro Bowl or in the Senior Bowl. He didn't do good in his senior day.
Kirby Smart didn't do many favors
in his combine.
Kirby Smart didn't do many favors though because they put him inside like the Georgia's rush system is ridiculous.
It sends out pros and it sends out all pros.
Problem is like their edge rushers are basically told to stand up the tackle so the linebacker can make plays,
and it works.
It does, but it doesn't help the edge rushers themselves.
Let me ask you this: as an edge rusher. If your talent is edge rusher, and you have 3 years of not even getting a quarterback pressure, and it is not because of your system, because you were the stand-up outside linebacker, where the outside lineman was being told to stand up the tackle, and you have a free rush, and you still couldn't get there. So 3 seasons of not having a quarterback hurry.
I will say,
and then you get an all-world interior defensive line.
I do think though Travon Walker has a puncher's chance of actually being a good pro. I just think the Jaguars, it's gonna be like a Josh Allen situation, pass rusher Josh Allen, where like it's gonna take a year or 2 before he really gets his shit together.
It feels like when they look at him, everyone wants him to be a Dafe Owe, who the Ravens took last year. Is kind of just a freak that you're able to coach into being effective. But I don't think they realized that Odafe was kind of a super freak. Travon Walker, I think, has a long ways to go. I think they're trying to force that out there a little bit. I like Travon Walker, but not like.
I also feel this is a weird draft though. It's like everyone's like going for need, and so like you're gonna have guys like I have Drake London falling to the Packers at 22, but only because like everyone's gonna be scared of that 40 time and the fact that he couldn't lack of there, and also fact that on his tape. He can't separate from Pac-12 corners, which to me
the best group of corners in the world. No, seriously, you want to go with actual cornerback talent as far as being a
SEC at corner, and then ACC.
No, technician. No. Athleticism, yes, the SEC. Technicians, that's the Pac-12, and that is your Big Ten. That's your technicians of corners. Athleticism is in your ACC and SEC, but your technicians, those guys that get in your face and get in your chin. Those guys are in the Pac-12. And I'm sorry, there's more pros being set out in next year's for the Pac-12 from corner than there will be in this entire cornerback draft.
So my biggest thing is, but I'm talking about athleticism here with the speed. And the problem is that he's not separating on straight ahead routes.
He can jump out of a building. He's 6'5". I'm okay with him not running a 4.4 40. You know what?
I know,
this is Keyshawn Johnson on the field again.
Okay, but Keyshawn did run a 4.47, so it was like, what did he run?
He ran a 4.6.
Am I flipping? I'm flipping him with somebody else.
It was like a 4.57, if I'm not mistaken, was what Keyshawn Johnson's.
No, I'm definitely fucking his 40 time up with somebody else from the 90s, and it's cracking me up that I'm flipping them right now.
He actually ran a 4.47.
Did Keyshawn run a 4.47?
Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I was right.
And he says it's not how fast the player's going forward; it's how fast they can stop, change direction, and create space. And then give me the damn ball and whatever else he decided to say.
Yeah, but this is still Keyshawn Johnson with the ball in his hand. Like I don't care. This is still Keyshawn Johnson on the field.
I do think he
has a big body. He can go up and get it, play basketball.
A little concerning, but the fact that he has such a high catch percentage on contested catches on top of that too, most of them being downfield. He needs to clean up the route running intermediately so he can help separate a little bit too.
Yeah.
But I think
his deep and short route running is good though.
I think that intermediate, like he's got to get that 10-yard speed dig, that 10-yard speed out, things like that, just help break it in the middle too.
I said the Packers are his best fit because Rodgers would be able to work with him on that. And actually, like if there's any guy who could put the ball in that area for him, it is Rodgers.
If he goes to the Packers, he's rookie of the year. He's continuing that trend of receivers going like, oh shit, this guy just put up 1,400 yards. How?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. With Aaron Rodgers, you can just run a deep ball every play, and it's going to turn into something well.
Yeah, well, it was the
Aaron Rodgers will put you open. It'll be okay.
So somebody's talking about they were talking about receivers, like because right now I have the Saints going one. I have them trading up to get Willis, and then I have them taking Olave with their second pick if they still have it. If Willis falls to them, that was my 2 scenarios.
Wait,
and so if they trade up to get Willis, that's it.
Number 1 overall.
No, if they trade up to
I thought you said they were getting number 1 overall. I was like
at 8. I had them. I have not 8. I have them I think it was like 7 or 9. I have them trading up to.
My mind almost just got blown beyond belief.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so there is still part of me that thinks MCDC is going to take Willis at 2 overall, and I'm literally like shitting a brick right now. Or Desmond Ritter, because apparently he's like in love with Ritter, and that cracks me up.
I had him taking Desmond Ritter at the back end of the draft.
That's why I have
32 makes sense.
So that's the thing. This whole thing about Trayvon Walker, this is the whole thing that bothers me, is I loved him so much, I put him in my first mock draft at the back end of the first round. I was the only motherfucker to be smart enough to see that at that time. And you know what? I felt great about it. And now everybody's like, oh, he's a top 5 pick. Like, no.
Listen, like I wanted Walker. I wanted Walker to Philly at 15. I'm like, this kid is going to be a freak if he gets the right coaching. But it's like he's not worth a top 10 pick.
If you're draft on, if you want to draft on production or future talent, then you draft him in the first round, but not top 10. Top 10, you got to get something. It's got to be. I don't want to say guarantee, but you got to be.
You want somebody who's going to go out day one. Like I like the Jets taking Sauce Gardner at 4 because that dude's going to walk out there day 1 and lock up somebody's receiver. That's what I go with. It's like to me if I'm the Giants, right? The Giants, I want a guy. If I can't get Walker or if I can't get Hutchinson, if Thibodeau's sitting there at 5, I take Thibodeau.
I sprint that card.
I sprint, yeah. And then the next one, I go get Charles Cross or whoever lineman is available, as long as I don't have to go get Lindenbaum. If there's no good lineman available, I trade back.
Wait, rewind. Did you just say don't go get Linderbaum?
At 9? No, I wait. I trade back. He'll still be there at 17 or 16.
Breaks.
Nobody right now is in the draft boards has him above like 17 or 18 because they're worried about the fact they're stupid niche about the fact he's an FCS guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. My center, Quinn Miners. I'm just going to rewind to last year. Quinn Miners was a D2 guy. D3, sorry. Wisconsin Whitewater. So D3. Everybody was like, oh, wow, this guy's, fantastic. He moved himself up to a second-round pick. Tyler Linderbaum, who is a D1 athlete at Iowa.
No, sorry. Tyler Penning. Trevor Penning, sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, this is why I'm like, you're telling me to not take the number 1 center, number 1 interior offensive lineman.
Linderbaum should go in the top 15.
All right, we're good. Sorry. Go ahead. You can continue forward
I'm
now.
saying with Trevor Penning, I would not draft Trevor Penning before the 20th pick. So if I'm the Giants, I trade back to the 20s and see if I can get him, as long as some team like New Orleans because New Orleans always throws one pick out there that makes no fucking sense, but then it does eventually. That's what they do.
Does it?
Yeah, but that's why I said about Alvin Kamara.
Taysom Hill, I'm looking at right at you.
Pre-assault, I'm talking about Alvin Kamara. Because they had Peterson, they had Ingram, and the Eagles with a pick behind them they were already on the phone with Kamara, like, we're going to take you. If you're still there, then Sean Payton calls Kamara, and how that story goes. So my biggest thing about is there's a lot of teams who literally just are like Charlie Day from the intro to half of our intros are at the Corner with Pregame. They yell "wild card, bitches" and throw a random pick at the board. And honestly, that's I was doing my first mock draft. I think it was last Monday, and my sister came to visit. She was just doing laundry at my house, whatever. And she's like, "Why are you freaking out?" I'm like, "Because I've been doing mock drafts since 9 a.m. I have a show in 3 hours, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about right now. I've done 9 mock drafts since 9 a.m. this morning, and they still don't make sense." She goes, "Why do you care?" I'm like, "Because there's about 7 NFL teams who literally worship chaos and say fuck and roll a grenade into everyone's draft board."
And they all pick at the top 10.
Yeah.
Actually, no, there's a couple that pick.
Except for the Commanders. Sorry, my bad. The Commanders
Commanders.
The
fact that they endorse that as their chant is terrifying.
Yeah. But that's a good point, actually. That honestly, that the fact that there's chaos ensues. It's all throughout the first 20 picks. There's just gonna be so much silliness. I don't like it. I hate it because, as you said, we're trying to plan out mock drafts. We have our big mock draft next week, and it's dude, I did a mock draft where Kyle Hamilton fell into the 20s to the Patriots, and Kyle Hamilton is a top 5 player in this draft.
I had Jordan Davis fall to the Cowboys. I had Jordan Davis fall to the Cowboys at 22.
I would hate that as a Cowboys fan because I love him, and I don't want him to go somewhere where I have to hate him. I would have to hate him as a Cowboys fan because
What cracks me up is like I just
it would
kept
never work
making-
out.
I kept making this was the live one I did on the show. I'm talking to Yuke about this, and he's like, Jordan Davis is still on your board. I'm like, I know he is. He goes, why? I'm like, because every team that looks at him is like, yeah, we could use him, but there's this guy who fits a need. Because this is a need-based draft. This is not like, yeah, Jordan Davis is a freak, but what scares me as a fan who actually pays attention to this shit is that with Jordan Davis, there's plays where it looks like he's just so fucking gassed. I'm just
fat.
He's a true nose tackle right now. That's a little concerning.
He is a fat nose tackle. So
he is a run-stopping nose tackle being asked to play in non-stop defensive situations where they don't allow.
Exactly. So like when Yuke's like, yo, Eagles take him. Like, no, we need guys who are athletes. The Chargers, yes. Like we took fucking Milton Thomas last year. The guy's pro comp was like a poor man's Aaron Donald. I was like, Jesus.
That's a very poor man's Aaron Donald.
Hey, listen, his PFF ranking this year was not bad. I was not complaining about it.
Yeah. I mean, just because you're above 60% doesn't mean anything, though.
It was a 70, and also he was the cross from Hart. Listen, also
Carson Wentz was above 60%. Is all I have to say.
That's what's terrifying. But
it's easy
listen,
when
like
Jonathan Taylor has 2 billion yards.
Dak Prescott was above 70.
Yeah,
that's because Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb are ridiculous,
Kirk
and you get to play the
Cousins
Giants.
Is in the 80s.
That's because Justin Jefferson's going to be a Hall of Famer.
So can we not use PFF rankings in this situation?
Also, PFF rankings on linemen are kind of fugazi, so I will give you that one.
PFF on anybody is fugazi.
But one of my things, I guess somebody was playing Duck Hunter. My biggest thing about Jordan Davis was that I yelled at Duke about the Philly pick. I'm like, it makes no sense for their pick history. That is not a Howie Roseman pick. That's a fucking Chip Kelly pick.
Yeah, to a T. That's literally taking a Deion Jordan type something like that.
Yeah, it's like he's a freak athlete. It's like, yeah, Chip, he doesn't fit our system. Doesn't matter, freak athlete.
I'll make him great.
I'll make him good. No, Howie Roseman pick is trying to get Garrett Wilson at the last minute. He's not available, so we take Trayvon Burks. Which honestly, I love Treylon Burks. He's my sleeper for the best receiver in the draft because I watch his tape and everything about him screams Dez Bryant.
Thank you for even reinforcing my point.
We had this conversation. Kelcey, I watched an hour of his tape and I'm sitting there with two of my buddies like they were gonna go pick me up to go to the bar. And I'm literally just like, what are you watching this kid? I'm like, this kid's fucking Dez Bryant. He's Dez with better.
He is Dez Bryant.
He's Dez with better hands, and what scares me is the fact is like, Kels, did Dez catch it?
He got shut down by Zacoby McClain from Auburn. He got shut down by a linebacker who's not even projected to go in the top 5 rounds.
Also, let's be honest though, Arkansas this year was very inconsistent when it came to production.
The only production was when Treylon Burks actually caught the ball, and the problem was
exactly.
he catch the ball.
I think but if Treylon Burks has Devontae Smith across the field from him and Quez Watkins in the slot like that, he's gonna be open 1-on-1 every time.
He will be Dez Bryant and be just the biggest disappointment for you ever. I'm glad you said he's going to be Dez Bryant because Dez Bryant will go down in history as the biggest disappointing number 88 for the Cowboys.
I fear Dez Bryant as an Eagles fan. Because
you're the only team that feared him because that was the only team he played against. The dude would sleep 18 weeks out of the year and show up for potential
talent. Potential talent. That's why I said Dez Bryant. Where it's like this dude is
potential talent.
A strong, physical guy who has punt return potential, is explosive enough, just big physical, can run routes. Treylon Burks is raw, obviously, but I look at him, I'm like, oh my god, if the right receiving coach gets a hold of him, the right offense, oh my god, it's scary. If he falls to
receiving coach though,
if he falls to fucking the pack,
seriously, that's actually drafting in the first round. Who has a good enough receiving coach in the first round to coach up Treylon Burks? Because right now,
a lot of teams do. The problem is they're all in the back.
They're all in the back. Yeah, they're all in the back. And of those 6, 5 of them have a stocked receiving core right now.
Yeah, the one who doesn't
and don't need a receiver.
The one who doesn't is missing one.
Philadelphia does not have a receivers coach that's good enough for that.
Yeah, he's good enough. He made Quez Watkins explosive.
Well, we talked about Jalen Reagor though.
You can't fix bad.
And then he to slow down Devontae Smith so that Jalen Hurts can actually hit him on open routes, he gave him an 80-pound arm brace. So that's your receiving coach for you.
How about Treylon Burks to the Chiefs? Imagine in that situation where
Oh
all
my
he does is
God,
catch
don't-
screen
don't-
passes and go deep. Then he's perfect at that. I think he's
That's all they
perfect.
need
at
him for.
as well too.
God,
think
dude,
he's coach there.
I'm really hoping
Patriots?
the Chiefs implode.
Wait,
I really
someone say the
wa-
Patriots?
Put him on the
No,
Patriots.
Where receivers
stop.
go to die.
Exactly.
No, but Treylon Burks on the Patriots. We talked about Deebo Samuel to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Now you get the actual young version of Deebo Samuel going to the Patriots. That'd be interesting to watch. I
Like a
would pay
two-
to watch that.
I
Like a
wouldn't
two-way-
mind it. I have just
Just not Deebo.
over the years have lost so much faith in Bill drafting a wide receiver.
I think Bill
properly.
just said fuck it and just throwing shit at the wind at this point. So screw it. We're just gonna go at it. I don't care if it works. We're just gonna fucking go for it.
Yeah.
Here's the true problem, though. Honestly, with Treylon Burks, somehow if he's sitting there when Dallas gets up, and with how much Jerry Jones loves his Arkansas
Oh,
Razorbacks,
it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's done.
it's gonna be Jalen. It's
He
gonna
won't-
be Treylon
he-
Burks that goes to Dallas.
won't
And
pass,
it's the
and it-
dumbest fucking thing ever, but it's what's gonna happen.
Well, the thing is
Felix
also,
Jones.
so who's your third receiver then? Because you guys have, you have Gallup and what's his face?
Insert
CD.
some guy
Yeah.
that I don't even care about.
Yeah,
who
'cause
gets
Wilson's
way more
gone.
receptions than he ever should have.
Cedric
right.
Wilson was going to be that guy.
Noah
you know?
Brown.
Yeah, I think it is
Oh,
actually.
yeah, Noah Brown, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry's World.
Tony Pollard's getting more hype than Ezekiel
There's
Elliott.
gonna be a Space Jam 3 show
Kels, I
now.
thought y'all were trading Zeke by this point. I don't even know how he's still a Cowboy.
Bro, right? Okay, hold on now. We talked about this the last time I was on the show. I said plain and simple, the job in the offseason is to trade Zeke. Just either trade him or cut him before the
Send him
draft.
to the Bills. Make Andrew
No.
cry.
Don't send him to the
Oh.
Bills. Don't do that to the Bills. Don't do that to Josh Allen. Josh Allen doesn't need another waste of a space for a running back.
Fine, give him. I would have loved them to get Leonard Fournette, but like Tom Brady's magical, mystical powers of devilishness are just
He's not human.
I thought
The only
Fournette was
man-
going
the
to
only
be
man to
perfect
own
with the
two.
Bills.
Yeah. The only
Fournette
man
to
to
the
own two
Bills
teams
would have
at
been a
the same
home
time.
run
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought that would have been a slam dunk for sure.
because it's like then they could finally stop trying to convince us that Devin Singletary is the starting running back.
Oh, my God.
Brees
Hey,
Hall.
how about this? Yeah, Brees Hall.
Yo, I
exactly,
have them
Brees
take.
Hall.
I have them take a Brees Hall in the first round, and I thought Uke almost fell off his chair. And I'm like, listen, the Bills take a pick every year. There's a pick every year in the first round, makes no sense. But the Bills taking Brees Hall makes almost too much sense. He's a power back with explosive speed. His pro comp to me is Leonard Fournette, and they're like, that's how I praise him. I'm like, no, he's what Leonard Fournette turned into, not Leonard Fournette in college.
Fred Taylor.
And he's got hands
Also-
too. He can catch
Also,
the ball in space.
yes.
That off.
Also,
He
I did mention Fred Taylor a little bit, Kelsey. So thank you for that reference.
Yeah, Fred Taylor, because he can catch the ball.
Well,
At the
hey,
end of the
listen,
day, Brees Hall has had more one-handed catches than the entire receiving corps from Iowa State.
I didn't think Iowa State had a receiving core. I thought in Iowa they just literally lined up
They
11,
put out
11
three
guys.
recently.
11 guys in the line of scrimmage, run straight.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, that's Iowa with Kirk Ferentz. My bad.
Yeah, no, that's Iowa. That's how Tyler Linderbaum got his job.
That's how
crushed
fucking
everybody
George.
between
That's
him
how old
him
Georgie
and the
boy
end
got
zone.
his job too.
Hmm.
George, fucking Noah Fan, Hawkinson, all them.
Dallas Clark. Like everybody just go be big and run fast.
Speaking of,
And then
did
they
you
end
ever
up in
hear
the
that-
NFL and suddenly they're top 10 tight ends because they actually throw the ball, vertically.
Did you
the
hear
forward
the
pass.
quote from what's his name? Oh God, no, I can't think of his name. 49ers tight end that we just talked
Kittle?
about.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's like, you know what? Catching the ball and scoring touchdowns is nice, but watching somebody's life leave their eyes while you run them into the ground is way more fun.
Okay, Kelsey.
He was on
what
buses with the
position-
boys, and I'm
I
like,
can
what
believe
position-
that.
Kelsey, what position of football did you play?
oh, offensive line.
Oh, so I did too. Trust me, knocking some dude's daylights out in a pole block or blocking them out of the freaking play is the best feeling in the world because you just dominated a human being, and they literally are like, I feel like defeated.
So the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my life is being a pulling guard and running into an all-world recruit who is bigger than me as a linebacker, and I wasn't ready for the hit.
See,
I'm prepared to go crush like a little tiny corner, and I'm running around the edge to see a 6'5", 300-pound, nothing but muscle Alabama 5-star recruit, and I'm like, "Aw, crap, this is gonna hurt," and I go backwards.
See, I played ball in Connecticut where the best
Oh God,
recruits
pay
would go
me.
to
Yeah, we
The best,
we got no one up here. Our high school football.
The kid I hit in this story, I think went to like Utah or Utah State. Okay, so
I'd have been an actual recruit. I wouldn't have had to try to walk on. I would have had to walk on. Like I could have just actually gotten paid to go to school.
It was my senior night. We ran a Miami style spread, so everything's 4 wide receivers, 5 linemen, everyone's up and everything going. We ran a trap play, and our trap play, the tackle acts as the fullback. I also was one of the faster linemen, so I went through the hole. Here standing this 3-star recruit D1 linebacker sitting flat-footed in the hole. Dude, my eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. I was like, this motherfucker's dead.
I'm not
because I had a rep for leading with my helmet and also for leaving my feet on blocks. I hit this kid so hard.
That's a good block in the day.
Yeah, it was.
That was a great block back in the day.
I mean, I graduated in 2013. This is before the
never mind.
I was the last. I was the last class of like tough guy football players.
You were part of the heads up football program.
No, I missed it by a year. I did because my helmet looked like Freddy Krueger attacked it. I used my helmet. Office. I used my helmet like a weapon. Are you kidding me? And on this time I did.
Literally, I don't know how many offensive line coaches I had that said exactly that. Like, you have 5 weapons. You have 2 feet, 2 hands, and a helmet. Make sure all of them are messed up at the end of the day.
So I hit this kid and literally in front of our bench, and everyone knew he's the D1 recruit on their defense. And I decked this like he was on his back, mouth guards on the ground, and our running backs running wild for like 25 yards. And I'm getting up hype as hell. And I'm like realizing we're still down by 20. We're fucking getting Oh my god! But you know what? Listen, that was my one experience with the D1
in Connecticut.
Yeah, New England high school football is so bad that I made the team 2 years in a row.
I started.
Hold on, you guys actually cut people in New England?
Yeah,
There's too many injuries down south. There are 140 people on some football. Some
we
high
had
school football
60.
Teams.
Yeah,
Dude,
we didn't have.
There are 140 people in a 6A and a 5A school in Alabama because there are so many injuries. By the end of the season, they'll end the squad with 60 or 55. And only 60 can travel in the state of Alabama.
We had 45 my junior year, and we made the playoffs.
Dude, this is like big schools. Big schools in Alabama. They don't cut anybody because of injuries.
We had a graduating class of like 1,600 my junior year, and we were class double-L. We were like the biggest class of high school. Damn.
That's okay. That's impressive. I will say the one thing that was crazy to me is when I went to Montana and I learned that how their school system works. Like, is it what's single A or double A is the highest?
Mm-hmm. Double A is the highest one, yeah.
And it's like 60 kids, if that, honestly.
Jeez. On the teams, you're looking.
I had maybe 60 kids in my class 40, for AP 40. Psychology.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's like 40 kids on team. So like,
when that's how old I was.
When I lived in Montana, post me playing, I found out about the way their schools were, and I was like, I could have played here and played at Montana, where it's a Nike Prime school, so they get all the Nike fancy gear. Oh, you telling me I could have done that? And I'm out here busting my ass in the hot summer weather.
Oh, see, Alabama. I didn't have any work. I was like, the problem with me was when I played ball, I had no work ethic, and then I didn't get it until I got into college and realized playing rec ball, I was getting my ass kicked by dudes. So I was like, that's when I actually started working out. Because I literally got to school and was like, yo, like, fuck this. I don't have to give a shit. And then I had a D tackle from Derby High School in Connecticut smoke me over the top on a go route by like 20 yards. I'm like, fuck, I'm out of shape.
I mean, look, I was an offensive lineman. So my work ethic,
edge rusher.
Well, as far as getting help for football, I didn't care about football. For baseball, I cared about baseball.
Oh,
so
same.
For baseball, I'd get in shape for the weigh-ins for baseball. But
y'all did weigh-ins?
Yeah, for baseball, my baseball coach required it. Oh, but for football, we had to weigh a minimum, and our weight limit for baseball was 260. The minimum for football for our offensive tackle was 285.
Wow, I
had to go from 260 to 285 in 4 weeks to get ready for the starting season. And so it was just like fucking shoving food down my face at that.
Dude, I literally, I think I weighed at my senior year senior night when I was starting left tackle. I think I weighed 245. I was only 5'9".
I haven't seen 245 in years.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time is brought to you by
Jared's
our
health coach.
Yeah, exactly. Is brought to you by the amazing people over at YeatsOfficial.com. Promo code Corner Booth for 10% off. Andrew, of course, won our contest back for our Christmas special.
Yes.
Still
have them in my car.
These are bulletproof, basically. I wouldn't don't shoot at these things, you dumbasses. But
why do you challenge me like this?
These things. I rephrase this. These are Jared proof.
Yeah, there we go.
I beat the hell out of a lot of things I own. Okay, and here's the thing: is because I don't really. I'm kind of apparently the wild child of my friend group. I've never understood how that happened, but it did. These are Jared proof. That's all you need to know, because I do a lot of dumb things. All right. Either way, Corner Booth, 10% off. YeatsOfficial.com. They have like 45 styles now. This is one of their OG styles. This is how old these are. They're like 2 years old now. Yeats Official, my favorite sponsor. I love them dearly. They've been sponsoring us for fucking almost 2 years now. We love them. Corner Booth, YeatsOfficial.com. There it is. All right. It is time for Corner Booth Dartboard. All right, gentlemen, you know the rules. I'm going to go around the table. Everyone gets to put one person in the dead center of this before my leg goes numb, which is probably in about 5 minutes. So this is a very heavy piece of plywood.
How have you not shrunk the board yet? It has been over a month since I've been on the show, and you have not shrunk the board yet, and you talked about it.
Because I just am lazy, and I might like spray paint Corner Booth up here at some point, but like that's about it.
You should just shrink it,
or like put it over here.
Stick a stick.
I mean, I can hold it up, but like this is like a really intense shoulder workout right now.
Just shrink it.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's like pressure treated plywood. I don't feel like cutting this shit. I'm gonna have a mask on, all that other bull crap.
That's fair, because you're probably gonna be wasting more of it in the shrapnel than anything else.
Exactly.
Like
all right, who wants to go first on the Corner Booth dartboard?
Oh, sure, I'll go.
All right, Andrew, you're up.
And I'm gonna make my own rules. I'm not just picking one person. I'm saying the organization that is putting together the match can go screw. The best thing the match had going for them was Phil Mickelson's degenerate gambling entertainment. And now they're just going to give us Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. Who the hell is going to want to watch that? I'm sorry. You're going to watch it still fine. Go ahead. I just
Tom Brady threw the baby emoji at Josh Allen. I have to watch it now.
I just look. So this might be some pre-hype to it. I just don't see how it's going to be as good as it's been in the past with actual golfers involved who have the chops to bet some crazy shots and to do some funky things on the course and to make it entertaining. So I have no interest in watching 4 football players out there compete for money.
See, I agree. I mean, like, I'm gonna watch it, but like, I want to see Bryson DeChambeau blame Cobra for the fact that he hit a shitty shot.
Again,
because yeah, right. I like, or give me Brooks Koepka talking shit to him across the course. Like,
yeah, how is it Brooks and Bryson with two athletes?
It was so easy. They could have had Brooks in. They could have had Brooks and Tom.
Bryson.
They could have Brooks and Tom versus Bryson and Aaron, and it would have been electric.
That would have been much. No, that would have been much watch.
Jackson Mahomes is fucking Patrick's caddy. I will not watch. Okay, because I want to see his dumbass do. I want to see his dumbass doing TikTok dances and Patrick get pissed off and chuck his driver at him.
They literally couldn't get the fight license for that matchup to happen. That's why that matchup's not happening.
That would
we all know what would happen. That would be on site. That would be Brooksy on site.
Yes.
Oh my god. Quick news. Celebratory for us Eagles fans. JJ Arcega-Whiteside is officially converted to tight end.
What
makes me? He's the best. He
tight end.
He's the best. He's been the top-rated best blocking receiver in the NFL the last 2 years. It kind of actually makes sense.
And you need a tight end, so I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Well, as a number 2, yeah, he's a great number 2 tight end. Between him, Goddard, and Tyson Jackson, that's actually a really good tight end core. I'll take it. Fuck it.
Just wasn't expecting it. That's all.
It's good news. Like, good for you, JJ. Because I like the kid's effort. It's not like he's a bad receiver. It's just we drafted him ahead of DK Metcalf. The poor kid was fucked from the beginning.
That's fair.
And Terry McLaurin.
Don't bring it up, TJ.
And AJ Brown.
Classic.
No, AJ Brown was drafted before him.
Was he? Okay, well, close enough.
Yeah,
like,
AJ Brown was. I think AJ Brown was 10 picks ahead of him because they wanted AJ Brown, but once again, Howie panics when the guy he wants gets off the board. So, shouts to the Cowboys for the CeeDee Lamb pick. All right, DJ, who are you putting up here?
Oh, this is tough. There's a lot of people I hate sometimes. So, I'm going to keep mine quick and simple. We're going to put Baker Mayfield dead in the middle of it right now as well, too. For no other reason than he doesn't know how to shut his mouth. You come off a terrible season when you're hurt. Your retaliation going on a podcast with a dead dog next to you to bitch and complain and be disrespected. And then say, oh, I thought I was going to the Colts. Oh, well, no. Now I think I'm going to Seattle. You're trying to write the checks that your mouth can't. Your mouth is writing checks you can't cash. And then on top of it, just to add a little fun to it, someone puts on Instagram, what do you guys think about Baker to the Panthers? Robbie Anderson, absolutely not. Immediately responds back to that and says no. He immediately responded and they said, wow, Robbie Anderson's about that life. He responds, absolutely.
Well, okay, so I got to question Robbie, though, because I was like, you really think Icy Ghost Sam is better?
Probably thinks it's a lateral move. Why do you want both of them, no matter what?
Because at least Baker, will actually deliver a pass on time.
Only time he did that was in 2020, which you said does not count.
True.
And when Sam was playing last year, Robbie Anderson was actually having a pretty good year at the start of the season. So
yeah.
Hashtag free DJ Moore.
Yes. Send him anywhere else. Literally
right.
anywhere.
Kelsey.
Damn, I was not ready for this. I'm always ready for
this.
We had
the whole fucking
You had an hour and a half and 2 other people went before you.
I am always ready for this. I was just kidding. I was just picking on which douchebag I want to throw on this board again. I'm going to throw the eternal douchebag Kyrie Irving on the board, though, because it's just too easy at this point in time. Because he just keeps complaining. Not like he entices them. He makes fun of them on the court, but then he's not done. He has to whine like a baby because he is LeBron's child at the end of the day. That's the only problem I have with Kyrie. If you did everything else, that's fine. Just don't whine after the court. You already enticed him. You already talked your own shit back to him. But then you lost the game and then decided to whine. No. Kyrie's you gotta go on the board for that.
Yay.
All right, my last corner booth dartboard of the day, and this is for the week. My corner booth dartboard goes to Mr. Jalen Reagor. So, I didn't realize how much so originally I was going to have the Diamondbacks hitting coach, but now they've won 2 straight and they've hit 8 home runs in the last 3 days, which is ridiculous, or 5, whatever. Still more than they hit all year. Anyway, so I had to improvise. And I couldn't shit on JJ because him converting the tight end's the smartest thing he's ever done in his career. So I had to pick on somebody who's an easy target, and Jalen Reagor is an easy target. I defended Reagor to the T's until I watched him dog his routes. And Kelsey was right. The only reason he looked so good at Texas Christian is because the motherfucker was the only weapon they had. And the fact that we took him over fucking Justin Jefferson and Chase Claypool and Michael Pittman Jr.
And keep going.
T. Higgins.
Oh, T. Higgins, yeah. Oh my God. Just put me out of my fucking misery. Fucking Cowboys for making Howie panic with the CeeDee Lamb pick.
Only you weren't an Eagles fan.
You know what? I listen. I live and die as an Eagles fan. I almost got a splinter from a pressure treated wood just now.
The Eagles fan. You keep holding that board for longer.
Listen, I literally will live and die as an Eagles fan. I will live and die as Hurricanes, Diamondbacks, Timberwolves. But listen, it just comes down to this. I think Howie's draft curse is gone because last year actually was a good draft class, so I'm not complaining. But
until now, he has multiple picks to blow it.
I'm praying to God he doesn't. Lord help me. Either that or he just trade them all for AJ Brown. That works too. Because apparently him and Jalen Hurts are best friends. I just found this out the other day. But yeah, no, seriously, go get you. No, because I guess Jalen Hurts tried to recruit AJ Brown to Alabama, but I guess Lane Kiffin paid him more. I don't know.
That's the, I go to Lane Kiffin too over Nick Saban. Let's be.
Hey, listen, Joey Freshwater fucks around, man.
I get to go party with all the best party school in the SEC, and with all those fine women. I'll be there. Bye,
ladies and gentlemen. We are of course overtime by almost 3 minutes now, but listen, we appreciate stopping by the Corner Podcast. You can find these fine gentlemen at Andrew. He hosts the Divots and Pivots pod. You can find him on Twitter at Divots and Pivots, and also at his Twitter handle, The Real Mr. Mallard. You can find these 2 handsome gentlemen below me, DJ and Kelcey, at the High Low Podcast. They are the Kings of Color cast. You can check them out broadcasting almost every other game. Somehow we're going to make the USFL relevant. I just don't know how it's going to be possible. But,
we're going to fire more people for getting pizza instead of chicken salad.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. But you can also find them at High Low Sports on basically every social media platform. And you will see all 4 of us at some point on the TSS fan crew. Andrew's basically a regular there at this point. I just basically told Jason I'm
I
taking
am
a
a part-timer there now, so yes.
I told
check out
Jason I'm taking a
TSS.
I told Jason I'm taking a hiatus after having to hear Jester talk about college football for 20 minutes. That motherfucker, his college football takes make me want to peel my eyelids back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you stopping by. Shout out to our official sponsors, Cannon Dips, Yeats, and I think Ballsy, but I don't think they're still a company. They might have folded at this point.
Belly Up Media.
You did a
Belly Up
fantastic
Media.
job, Jared.
Appreciate y'all. We'll see you next week. Peace.